Fairy tales are not just stories for children. They are ancient maps of the human soul, rich with wisdom about our journey through life. Marion Woodman, a renowned Jungian analyst, believed fairy tales hold the key to understanding the feminine psyche and archetypal energy in our modern world. Today, we'll explore her insights alongside Carl Jung's vision of archetypes, unlocking the timeless relevance of these myths. These tales, passed down through generations, are more than entertainment. They are tools for self-discovery, helping us navigate the complexities of modern existence. What can fairy tales teach us about courage, love, and transformation? Let's begin this journey into the heart of myth and meaning. Archetypes are universal and appear across cultures in myths, legends, and fairy tales, signifying their deep psychological roots. Fairy tales speak the language of archetypes. In these stories, we find the hero embarking on a journey, the shadow testing their resolve, and the wise old woman offering guidance. Marion Woodman, as well as many Jungian analysts do, saw fairy tales as mirrors for our inner world, offering insight into the struggles and triumphs of the human condition. She emphasized that the feminine archetypes in fairy tales, such as the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone, are not mere characters but symbols of inner transformation, essential in a world craving balance and renewal. These archetypes provide a framework to understand our fears, desires, and aspirations, connecting us to the collective unconscious. A fairy tale that exemplifies the Mother, Maiden, and Crone archetypes is Snow White. This story is deeply layered with Jungian symbolism and highlights the roles of these feminine archetypes throughout. Snow White herself embodies the Maiden archetype. She represents purity, innocence, and potential. The Maiden is often the protagonist in fairy tales, symbolizing the beginning of life's journey and the untainted potential for growth and transformation. Her initial naivety and trustfulness mirror the qualities of the archetypal Maiden, whose journey is about moving from innocence to experience and maturity. The Queen, stepmother, while typically seen as the villain, paradoxically embodies a distorted version of the Mother archetype. In her shadow form, she is the devouring mother, jealous, controlling, and destructive. However, the nurturing Mother archetype is subtly represented by the dwarfs, who provide Snow White with shelter and care. In Jungian terms, they symbolize the supportive aspects of the psyche that help foster the Maiden's growth. The Queen's obsessive desire to remain the fairest of them all represents the shadow side of the Mother archetype, fear of obsolescence and a refusal to nurture new life. Lastly, the old woman, Queen in disguise, embodies the Crone archetype. In her shadow form, she is the witch Crone, who brings the poisoned apple, symbolizing death and transformation. The Crone archetype often brings wisdom through suffering. In the story, Snow White's death after eating the apple is a rite of passage, symbolizing the end of her innocence and the beginning of her rebirth into a wiser, more integrated self. The poisoned apple represents the transformative power of the Crone, an initiation into a deeper understanding of life's cycles of death and renewal. These tales, including those such as the hero's journey, represent not only a physical quest but also inner transformation, a call to face challenges and emerge stronger. The shadowy villains of fairy tales embody our repressed fears, daring us to confront and integrate them into our conscious awareness. Fairy tales help us reconnect with lost wisdom in a digital age, addressing societal issues such as alienation and disconnection. Fairy tales remain profoundly relevant, offering insights into today's struggles with identity, purpose, and community. In our fast-paced world, these stories teach us patience, resilience, and the art of transformation. As Carl Jung noted, myths and fairy tales are collective dreams, blueprints for navigating the complexities of human life. They provide a language for emotions we often struggle to articulate, offering clarity in times of uncertainty. It's a language we would have almost forgotten if it were not for its inscription written on our souls. Consider how modern retellings of fairy tales, for example, grapple with issues like power, redemption, and resilience. These stories remind us that while the settings may change, the lessons remain timeless, guiding us to confront inner and outer challenges with courage. Fairy tales aren't relics of the past. They evolve, reflecting the concerns of each generation. Disney's Frozen is a striking example of archetypal storytelling in the modern age. Elsa's icy powers symbolize the shadow, her fear of losing control and harming those she loves. This power, when denied, isolates her, reflecting the destructive nature of repression. Anna, the hero archetype, sets out to restore balance, representing the conscious effort to heal and reconnect. Together, their journey reveals a profound truth. Integration of the shadow and the self requires love, courage, and vulnerability. This theme aligns beautifully with both Jung's individuation process and Marion Woodman's belief in the transformative power of connection. Let's explore the immense power of long-form storytelling more closely. In a world dominated by bite-sized media and instant gratification, long-form storytelling is a counterbalance, reminding us of the value of patience and sustained reflection. Fairy tales and myths often include prolonged trials and tests, mirroring the reality that meaningful growth takes time. This is especially relevant today, as people struggle with the demands of an overstimulated, fast-paced society. Another example is how long-form stories often address themes of wholeness, healing, and integration, providing audiences with a framework to process their own experiences. Woodman believed that myths and fairy tales guide us toward understanding and integrating the fragmented parts of ourselves. Jung emphasized this as well, seeing storytelling as a reflection of the psyche's movement toward individuation. Lastly, myths and fairy tales mirror the stages of the human experience: birth, growth, struggle, death, and renewal. These stories provide psychological maps for navigating life's most profound challenges. Each phase, departure, initiation, and return, can only be fully explored in a narrative that unfolds over time. Fairy tales are more than stories. They are lifelines to the soul. They teach us to navigate the unknown, embrace our inner archetypes, and find meaning in a chaotic world. As Marion Woodman said, the soul doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in symbols, in myths, and in dreams. In today's culture, where myths are often forgotten, these stories offer us a chance to reconnect with the deepest parts of ourselves. In their timeless wisdom, fairy tales offer a gentle reminder: life's greatest challenges can lead to profound transformation. As we honor these ancient stories, we not only preserve their wisdom, but also unlock the potential to live more meaningful and connected lives. What if the fairy tales you thought were just stories are actually the keys to unlocking the deepest truths about yourself? If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be well, dear friends.